Hey, 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 Dim here. Another update. Yesterday was an interesting day. A lot of stuff happened, and a lot of shit that I need to fix now that's happening in my life, and then a lot of things that affected me physically as well. But it's not what I want to focus on today. I just amazed of how some books, some really awesomely written books, which are not even designed to give you something to change your mind. Probably, maybe it is designed like that, but it feels like it is just. I'm talking about the book called Alabaster Girl, which I would recommend as must have for any guy who wants to focus on dating and approaching girls, talking to girls, and just being, enjoying the company of women. And that is amazing. That was one of the books that I found when I just was starting like 4 years ago. At this point, I didn't read it then, but I knew that it was awesome. And now I got back to it, and it's amazing. And so, what I wanted to mention about me today is this book today helped me notice, like, also communication with a friend while reading it and while sitting in a cafe and just looking around. But all the for a longest time, I was associating, I knew that I like being in company of some girls. I like the attention. I like all of that, really. I really crave it. I go to get it. I want to seem valuable, seem like I'm getting this attention, and but I went to do all of that through the lens of sex always. I thought that, oh, I need to get laid with some girl so it would be considered as a success. If I don't have sex with a girl, that is not my validation. I cannot get anything from that. I was so afraid of the friend zone. I was afraid of wasting time on dates because I was so focused on having sex and all of the experience and like, oh, I need that. That is totally understandable, of course, because I didn't have the experience back then. And it is an awesome thing to start from. Like, you need that experience at the start just to feel like you can have sex, that you can be valuable like that. I think for guys, it is one of the most important things to handle. But and that can be a valid pursuit for a long time. But for me, I noticed that I want to switch to something different now. I still love sex. I still want to focus on all of that it entails, and I want to get closer to any girl that will want that and have all of the feelings, have everything. It is amazing. But at the same time, I started valuing just being in a company of women. How this feminine energy that you can get from just interacting with almost any woman. And that is amazing. I started valuing friendships with girls. I don't know if that's only my thing or if that's specifically my thing or it's because I still miss a lot of attention and I still value it a lot. But Honestly, I don't get much from trying to get friendships, to build friendships with guys. I know that male bonding and support and all that is really important for a lot of people, but for me, it's like I don't need it much. It helps. Of course, it helps, but at the same time, I can easily replace that by doing like meditations and be like doing some inquiries by myself, like working with myself. But the interaction with girls, it is irreplaceable with anything. It is such a unique energy exchange that cannot be got from anything else. And so, I guess for me, this is the moment, this is the point that I really want to embrace just getting in contact with girls with without too much focusing on outcome of having sex. Like embracing any kind of outcome that can be, even if it's just a talk or discussion for like 10 minutes or a couple of minutes, or some compliments, something like that, just quick interaction. This exchange of attention, this exchange of energy that goes on even with the most platonic interactions as well. If it goes somewhere further, that's great, that's even more awesome, but even in the small intensity, even if it's not really uh, deep and it's just like the surface level conversation or something like that, it still gives a lot. I noticed that for myself. And that is also a good thing to practice interactions because for me it is a problem to have social skills, to know what to talk about, to even not that, even just to say what I think, even to say compliments, to notice some good things in girls that I really like, and then have the courage to say that without any outcome dependence at that moment. Also, the problem for me is that I want to prioritize girls more than guys because that actually gives me a lot, that gives me much more enjoyment. With guys, it feels more like a business interaction. It is, it feels, I still care about a lot of guys. I want to help them, but other than that, other that that feeling that, oh, I can help them, I not enjoying the interaction itself. As much as I tried, I just can't. If I hang out with guys, I don't really enjoy that. But if I hang out with girls with doing exactly the same things, oh, there is so much more there. So, I guess that's me embracing this side of me that I actually like spending time with girls in any way. And I need to learn how to prioritize that because that actually gives enjoyment to my life, gives fun to my life, and I want that. So that is my insight from today. Again, I structured it as something that I talk about myself. Um, it has a lot of information that I will probably release it as a episode, not as a vlog. So yeah, then I need to give some unsolicited advice and recommendation at the end of it, right? So be open to the possibilities. Then what like let's not focus on that too much. Like what I'm trying to say with all of this is that may not be true for you as well. No, like, it may not be as it is for me, may not be I cannot talk properly. Uh, for you, it may be something different. For you, you can actually don't like just interactions. You want sex, you want something more. Maybe you want a relationship, maybe you want closure, and just brief interactions doesn't do anything for you. That's totally fine. But I thought like that for a long time as well. I was mixing these just love for women and how much energy, this feminine energy exchange I get from interactions. I was thinking that I need sex for that. But now I realize that there are stages for this, and I can still enjoy having contact even when it's not going to be something more intense, more intimate. Of course, it will be prioritized for me because it gives me more. But if I have time, if I have energy, then just for interactions with multiple girls, because it is much more interesting not to focus on one person. It is much more insightful and interesting and fun to, at least for me, at least from my perspective, that can who can enjoy this. Um, for me, it is more interesting to have multiple people for that in any way. And so that is something that much more easily achievable, and it gives a lot still. And for me to think about it, I'm getting from interactions, just from talking, building friendships, having fun, hanging out, and all that. And for with some of them being more intimate, cuddling, having sex, and all that. Just from interacting with girls, I'm learning so much more about them, and I'm fascinated by girls, really. And firstly, I'm enjoying this, and secondly, just by interacting more with them, I understand them more, and I will have more success as well eventually. It will give social skills, it will give me flirting skills, it will give me just the general understanding of psychological and interpersonal communication. And that is awesome. I was so narrowly focused on only sex. And it had its merit. It gave me a lot. I am not gonna say that it was a mistake. No, that was definitely a right decision. But now it's time to change focus and be more broad with it. And so that's what I wanted to. Firstly, I wanted to share my experience. Maybe you can relate to that. Maybe you will find that something like that works for you. If you think that something like that possible, definitely read Alabaster Girl. That's an amazing book. Even like I only read 10%, it already changed a lot in me. And but just in general, you can focus on something that gives you a lot, but there may be time when some just be open to new insights and to looking critically on what you already know and changing it a little bit, even if it's includes accepting something that you were terrified of before. For me, it was like being in friend zone, having platonic conversations and interactions. I was terrified of that, and now I see the benefits in that as well. So just a reminder that sometimes things that were not working for you before can obviously work in your new version, in your already improved version that is more reliant on negative sides of it. that you can handle some uncomfortableness. um, you are not that focused on there is only 100% success and nothing else matters. You maybe can see things more gradually because you're not so desperate about that. That's my experience again. So pay notice to that. And about dating, choose something that feels right for you and in that moment, and go and focus on it and see what happens. Maybe it won't work, maybe it will, but go for it. It's definitely something that is really important, I would say, especially for guys, to focus on dating in one way or another. So, okay, that is it for me today. Stay awesome. I hope it was relatable. See you next time.